Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here today in New York with my friends from Carter's Chips, and they've asked me to do a demonstration on how to prepare and cook the world famous long fry, which you see a plate of in front of you. So I think these are a very cool product, whether you're making them at home or in your business. It's really eye-catching. A lot of consumers ask about them, you know, from all demographics, young, old, whatever. Anybody who likes fries tend to ask about them. So I think they're very cool. And whether you're making sort of fried foods or comfort food or anything where a fry could kind of fit into it, it's a great product to have on your menu. So I'm going to walk you through how to use the mix, which I have a bag of here, as well as the different types of pressing equipment that you need to make the fry shapes and then cook the fries. And if you have any questions, you can follow up with the folks at Carter at carterschips.com or www.carterschips.com. They have a ton of great stuff. They can sell you the mix. They can sell you the pressing equipment. They have different kinds of sauces like their caliente or their ketchup, which is a great match for the fries. So I love the product, and I'm happy to be here today to walk you through it. So the first thing we're going to start with is a bag of Carter's Chips potato mix. So I have a sample here of their potato mix number 1, which you can get from carterschips.com or email carter@carterschips.com. It's an easy recipe. It is in the metric system. Everything's been measured out to the gram and ml, so just make sure you have those measuring devices in your kitchen. And it's 1 kilo of the mix to 2.6 to 2.8 liters of room temperature water, and then 80 or 90 mLs of vegetable oil or olive oil, or we've used herb infused oil, flavored oils to give the fries a nice flavor, which works well. So the first thing we're going to do, this is a 1 kilo bag of the mix, is we're going to give the mix a nice shake, make sure all the ingredients are properly distributed. This is mostly potato flour and a little bit of salt, but then there are key binding ingredients, the binding agents that give the fries its shape and let us shape it into fry shapes that just need to make sure that it's properly distributed. So one word on using the mix, we like to use all of it within a short amount of time. So we either use all of it all in one go, or we use half now and half a day later or something like that. Just we don't like to keep bags of this open, drying out, or anything like that. So that's it. So step number 1, just make sure the bag is well mixed, and we're on to step number 2.
So for the next step, when we measure out the ingredients, we want to make sure that we have a simple measuring device handy that can measure in different units like mLs, grams, ounces, and everything. Just because we're going to want to measure out both the mix and the water and the oil to the gram, to the ml. So this is just a simple Ascali measuring device that you can get from Amazon just for a few bucks, and it's very useful. So I've measured out exactly 500 grams of the mix, as you can see on the device. Don't be surprised when you pour in the mix, it's very fine. It can sort of go into the air. It's a very fine powder. But easy enough to work with, and I've measured out exactly 500 grams, and now I'm going to measure out the water. Now I've measured out exactly 1.35 liters of room temperature water, so 1350 mLs, and now I'm ready to proceed to mixing. So for the mix, I like to use a KitchenAid mixer. You can do this manually, it just won't be as uniform, it's harder, it'll take longer. So I like to use the KitchenAid mixer with a standard wire head. So the first step is to have the water in the bowl, which I have here, and I'm going to start the mixer. I like to have the water going before I start adding the potato flour, and I'm going to put it on a low setting, like 1 or 2. Get the mixer going, put it on low, and then just going to add it piece by piece. It doesn't take very long, as you'll see. Okay, you don't want to over mix it. You just want to make sure that the water starts to absorb with the potato. So I'm just going to stop it right there and take it out. That's mixed fine. Take off the head, and you can either shake it. There you go. That's how you kind of know it's mixed properly. If it falls out of the wire head without having a lot of manual work. Okay, so from here you can just mix it together. You can either use your hand or just use a spoon, as I'm doing. Just kind of get it together. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the oil. And now I've measured out about 45 mLs of olive oil. Might be a little bit more than you think, so I would encourage you, to measure it out carefully with a kitchen weighing device. Now I'm gonna pour the oil into the potato mix. Just pour it all over, shake it out. And at this point, I'm just gonna mix this in by hand. So what I have now is the potato mix in my KitchenAid mixing bowl. And now we're at a critical stage in the process where we need to give the potato mixture time for the water and the olive oil to infuse in with the potato granules. So we need to let this sit for at least 30 minutes, but you can cover it and put it in the fridge for up to 2 days. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with tin foil and let it sit in the fridge overnight. And what I get at the end is sort of a clay mixture that I think has the right texture and consistency to shape the fries the way that I like it. So I'm gonna cover this with tin foil and put it in the fridge overnight.